Welcome to Spain, Jacob. We are here at Circuit de Barcelona, also known as Catalunya. I am here with Jacob Burton. Rob has taken the evening off, so we will be talking to him next week when we come back for the endurance race. Jacob, I'm happy that you're here with me tonight. Are you ready to see some sprint racing action here with the Porsche Cup cars?
I am indeed. I'm a Porsche guy through and through, as I explained last week. So this one's going to be a really exciting race for me to watch, being a Porsche fan. So
yeah, we have a lot of drivers slated to race in this race so far. I'm counting a total of 24 drivers so far, and the entries just keep coming in. We just had another one come in, actually. So we're up to 25 now. So it's going to be interesting to see how these guys will be racing. If you're joining us for the first time tonight, we are doing sprint action with J2i. Now that consists of a 20-minute race and a 40-minute race. In between the 20 and the 40, I believe there's a warm-up. Believe they'll have a warm-up race or warm-up practice session. So we'll be going muted there between that time to get ready for the 40-minute action. For this 20-minute race, which will be the start, we shall see them go full blast. They will not need to pit through that. It'll be a standing start, so watch them take off from the stripes there as you see the front stretch there. It will be interesting to see, how these guys fare as they enter that turn number one. Jacob, you got any track facts for Barcelona here?
So Circuit de Barcelona-Catalunya, not a very old track in comparison to some of the tracks that we've been to. Some of that have been open since 1940s or something like that. This one is only broke ground in 1989, opened in 1991, and has had only a couple of changes. Not really a whole lot of changes to the track itself, just a little bit of shortening, but not as much as Interlagos, where we were at last week. The person capacity for spectators is 140,000. That is a very high number. I would not imagine seeing 140,000 people here. That would just blow my mind. So yeah, this is a definitely going to be an interesting track to see. I haven't seen this one race very much, so interesting to see how these guys fare with it.
Yeah, so last week that race was fantastic. The endurance race and that sprint race the week prior was a fantastic race to watch. If you haven't seen it, you can go check it out on our YouTube channel. We keep all of our VODs there for you guys to see. But I'm very curious to see where we're going to be at with the endurance races. We're seeing everybody go across this track. They're doing what they do best. They're driving. They're taking these corners well. And this track is not as tight as it was last week. Last week there was a lot of incidences with the S turns coming off the straightaway. Jacob, talk about last week.
I'm sorry, I was taking care of something else. What was the question?
So last week we were the track was very tight compared to this track. Just kind of compare the two and kind of give the viewers an idea of what we're going to be looking at today.
Yeah, so last week Interlagos was a very, very tight track. It's I believe much thinner, much more narrow than this one is, and so these guys really have to be. Last week they had to be really cognizant of where they were on track and how they took their corners, making sure that they're listening to their spotters, making sure that they're in the right place, not going to bump into any cars. And with this track, I think it's a little wider. It looks a little wider, so they're not going to have to think about it as much, but they're still going to have to keep that in mind.
Well, I definitely. I'm very excited to see what's going on with this track now. I am noticing, unfortunately, that we're having a technical issue with the graphics up top. So I'm going to try to work on that as we move along here. Yeah, technical issues happen to us more than I'd like to see it.
Yeah, it follows just like the weather. I guess maybe that's something we should look at, is the weather for the track.
Yeah, so this track, we are going to be racing. It's going to be pretty warm today. I say warm is about average temperature, 74, 75 degrees. Humidity is going to be 64% on track. and that wind is going to be moving about 10 miles an hour. Track temperature is only 76 degrees, so when this race first starts, you will see these cars get a little slip out of the tires as they start to warm up on this track. 2 to 3 laps is what it will take to get these cars warmed up, so be interesting to see what happens.
Absolutely.
Well, with that being said, guys, we're going to take the next 5 minutes. I'm going to try to work this issue I'm experiencing, and we're going to just watch some of the most exciting players on track. So we will be right back. as we swap over to our qualifying session here, we're going to get these cars out on track. We will be going for 10 minutes of open qualifying. So it's... I'm just checking the chat here. Still dealing with an issue. I'm still working it out as we go, but for right now, we're going to watch these guys qualify. Now, this is basically a race to the start, you know, because whoever starts their lap first gets that clean air to get that fast time. Jacob, you know, who are you looking for today as far as times go? What do you think times will be with these guys?
That's a good question. What times are we looking at, or what times would we? I guess let me ask you, what times do you think we'd be looking at?
I love the question with a question.
Well, I don't know. I haven't seen these particular cars race around this particular track, so I don't know what times to expect.
So in our qualifying session, or in our, let me rephrase that. In our practice session, I was seeing about 1:18. So that's very interesting to see. For sure, to see where these guys are going to be setting, because 1:18 was with practice, a lot of wear on their tires. That was the average that I was seeing. So we're going to check it out here as we get these guys moving along to see where these guys will be placing.
1:18 around this track?
Yeah, it was about 1:18 to 1:40 was the times I was seeing.
These guys must be racing some F1 cars in disguise, because the lap record for all time is an F1 record at 1:18.
I may have miscued it because I was also dealing with an issue. So.
Oh man. I don't know. Maybe 1:18 is possible. You never know.
Yeah, for sure.
Possible for F1, but these cars, I don't think it would be possible with these cars. I don't know. I mean, looking at lap records, kind of gauging an idea of, you know, what these cars are and how they compare to other vehicles of similar class. I mean, I don't know, maybe a 1:40 to 1:50 kind of range. I don't know.
Yeah,
that's what it seems like to me, anyway.
Yeah, it'll definitely be interesting to see where these guys end up when we get done with qualifying. We could see, you know. I'm just going to quit speculating. I mean, we've got some good guys here that know what they're doing when it comes to this racetrack, and you know, Dean's one of them. Erico has been doing really good. Captain CK, you know, so it's just really we're going to have to see where these guys end up.
Yeah, we're going to have to kind of keep an eye on these guys qualifying and see how they take the track, what their times will be, and then we can kind of gauge an idea of performance for everybody.
We do have some incidents on track happening right now. Christian Bishop, Garlic Dog, AJ, all have been having some issues. Let's take a look at them and see where they're sitting on track. Actually, we got Mystery Lane, who's a slow mover right now going through the corners. I'd like to take a look, see what happened to him on his, I believe he's on his outlap here. He looks like he is on his outlap. We'll see. Looks like he may have just got loose going into the... yeah, he just got loose. Keeps it out of everybody's way. And end up having to swap the... we are getting everything changed to the back end as of right now, but we are seeing the overlay screen as of the endurance race. This is the sprint, and I'm working on getting that updated, so just stand by if you will.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what's going on. There is some major technical issues going on with live timing, and that's... we've never seen... I don't think we've ever seen this amount of technical difficulties in one in one stream.
Yeah, no, I have not, and we're getting that updated right now. So if you will, Jacob, find some info and tell it to the guys. Oh, as you see, Mr. Lane go off the track again.
Ooh. That's gonna be interesting to see if he can get back his qualifying time. But I guess one particular thing that we can talk about is just some kind of little tidbits about the track. Circuit de Barcelona-Catalunya used to not have the name Barcelona in it, but up until 2013, or at least in 2013, a sponsorship deal with the Barcelona City Council had been reached, and so they added Barcelona to the track title. So it used to just be called Circuit de Catalunya. So that's a little interesting tidbit. Another one that I found is noise pollution. This track actually has an issue with noise pollution, being it does not have any protective measures to minimize noise pollution produced by the vehicles, whether it be the cars, the motorcycles that they have on track sometimes. And so the noise pollution created is very noticeable for many kilometers or many miles around the circuit, and can be kind of a disturbance. So very interesting to hear that about this track.
Yeah, for sure. You know, considering that this track is known for its high-speed races that happens around this track all the time. So
Exactly.
and we're going to check. Brando went off the track on his outlap. Let's take a look at that. Looks like he just got off in the dirt there when he entered the front stretch. He did not spin, but it did show him as an off track. So if that was his qualifying lap, it will not count.
And I noticed he hit the DRS sign on the edge of the track. So
Yeah, and these guys are not really affected by the DRS at all. What the DRS is for is for IndyCar and F1 car, mainly F1 car when F1s are here. That's their systems. But
forget, what does the DRS stand for again?
You're the man with Google. I'm not real sure. I don't pay attention to Formula One too much. If somebody in the chat knows what that answer is, let us know. As of right now, Christian Bishop, we were talking about him earlier. I take that back. Captain CK has just posted the fastest time of the evening so far under these qualifying conditions with a 1:43.971. Now, Christian Bishop does have another 7 minutes to post his fastest time, but Christian Bishop, he's looking pretty good right now. Just talk about their safety ratings for a second. His safety rating right now, he has an A license with a 4.99 safety rating. That's hard to achieve, and that's hard to maintain. Drag reduction system, Jacob.
Yeah, I was just about to mention that. Thank you to Gaisu Motorsport. Is it Gaisu? Jaisu? What is? I don't know the pronunciation of it. I'm sorry. But thank you. I also looked that up on Google. It is drag reduction system. So yeah, of course these cars are not fitted with that system as it's not really necessary. But on F1 cars, it is absolutely necessary.
Yeah, it actually causes them to get a little bit more speed on that front stretch. But, you know, here we have to rely on the downforce of the cars with what they have. And a lot of times with the fuel in these Porsche Cup cars being put in the front of the cars, you'll see the drag of the cars or the downforce of the cars, not the drag, but the downforce of the cars get better when they have more weight on the front end. And when they're out for longer stints, you'll see that they'll have a little bit harder time maintaining their speed. So we'll see that tonight, especially with our 40-minute race right after the 20-minute race
here. Yeah, absolutely. And I think with the fuel being in the front, it would probably provide more of a balance, and I guess in regards to downforce, having weight in the front and then having a spoiler in the back providing additional downforce. I think it would probably be pretty balanced.
It would until they start, losing their fuel in the front end. Like I was saying, you'll start seeing that car slow down because of the downforce that they get. So it's like Bishop's taking his outlap again. He went back into the pits, coming back out for his outlap. He's looking to pass Captain CK right now, but Captain CK has got a commanding qualifying time with almost a half a second over Bishop.
Yeah, he's doing really, really good, and I think he'll be one of the ones that I keep my eye on tonight.
Yeah, he'll be a tough one to beat for sure. Beaver, Mystery Lane, and Claudia, or Caudata, however he says his name.
Caudata, yep.
Has not posted a time yet. Now, I do want to mention the top 8 drivers for the endurance race, or for the sprint race. The top 8 will actually invert. So 1 will become 8, 2 will become 7, so on and so forth. Up until, for that 40-minute sprint race. After the 20 minutes. So it'll give the guys that actually won the race, give them a little bit of a challenge to get through the field of a lot of strong drivers.
Yeah, it's one of the interesting things learning about the sprint series and how it works for this league. It seemed like a really weird thing to do, to have a reverse grid. But then I started thinking about it. I'm like, yeah, it gives these guys that won the sprint, or won the first 20 minutes, gives them a challenge. See if they can get back to the front, and then the guys that finish in the back for the first one, see if they can hold the lead in the second one.
Yeah, most definitely. As we wrap up qualifying here, we got probably less than about 3.5 minutes. We are going to tag along with Christian Bishop here. We're going to actually ride along with him and see what he sees. You can actually hear the shifts of his car.
Sounds of these vehicles. I love the looks of them too. Like I said at the beginning, being a Porsche fan, and loving how these cars look, and this is kind of heaven for me.
Yeah, and we also have a good look at the driver as well. So we can't get that pulled up here.
That is a very interesting color scheme.
Yeah, for sure. The helmet and the straps on the belts definitely match there. You see the amount of he actually having to stop here. He's going to take it back to the pit road and see where he sits. Right now we're going to ride along with Simply Steve. Simply Steve has posted a. Let me see. Let me get that best time pulled up for you guys. Simply Steve has posted a 1:45.263 that puts him in 9th right now. He is on his outlap looking for a faster lap, so we will see where he sits. In front of him, however, is the 99 car. 99 car belongs to Rosidon. Rosidon was in the race last week at the endurance race. And I apologize if I get any information wrong. I've been information overload from work today, so I may miscalculate something or compare something to something that may not actually exist. So just bear with me there.
Yeah, new job struggles.
Yeah, for sure. You ain't lying there. You're not lying there at all. We're going to take a look at his sectors right now. The first sector he ran at about a 30-second sector. This track does have, I believe, 5 sectors, so we'll get a time for each one here, and we can actually compare it to Airco there in the back. Airco's first sector did not count because he probably went off track. Airco has a problem with going off track at this track, from what I've heard. So when we approach our second sector here and get our time for it, we shall see what the comparison is, and we can see which one is actually faster than the other one.
Yeah, and I think that might be a bit of a struggle for some of these guys on this track, is some of the off tracks, because a lot of the lines that you're taking coming off the corners, you're taking them kind of wide, and so you might end up getting an off track, just going around the corner. So definitely going to be something to watch out for with these guys.
Yeah, and as we approach the grid here, get ready to grid. You'll see Christian Bishop and Captain CK up front. They were both sitting with a very, very good qualifying time. So we'll get this heat in, and we'll watch them start from the grid. They'll have about 400 or 500 feet before they approach a right-handed turn. So these guys are going to definitely be racing like crazy to get, their position early, so they don't get collected in any incidences in the middle of the pack that usually happens down here at Barcelona.
I can imagine that.
A few more cars here to grid. Remember, the first part of this race will be 20 minutes. 20-minute sprint. No pit requires. No pits will be required. No tires will be taken. And there really won't be any tires taken on that next race either, but we'll get into that here soon.
Yeah, this is just going to be pure racing for 20 minutes. Pure track position and just seeing these guys go around the track.
Waiting on one more car. That one car is there. We will see the lights pop up in the upper portion of our screen, and we'll be green momentarily. Let's listen to him go. You see everybody in the back there. You can see everybody in the back there get a little squirrely, but as they approach this first corner, Orbit's Jupiter and Spicoli. Actually, Christian Bishop has changed his name, trying to. That actually confused me. So Orbis Jupiter, his number 26 car, Captain CK, and the number 50. They're side by side going through turns number 3 and 4 there.
I don't think I've ever seen someone change their name mid-race, but I guess...
I don't think they changed it mid-race. I just don't think I picked up on it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Looking into the action, a lot of drivers in this field. There's a lot of drivers on track tonight. Total of 25 drivers slated to race, and all 25 are on track at this time.
Almost feels like something's going to happen. Ooh, he's getting a little squirrely there.
Yeah, Dean did get a little squirrely there. That's not normal for Dean, so we'll hopefully see him start making his way up to the front. But these tires are going to be cold getting through these laps here. Let's take a look back at the leaders here. This corner got a lot of people. You see everybody getting ready to gear down for their next couple of corners here. And we're actually going to move to the front here. And we're going to get their track map turned on so you can keep track of your favorite drivers on track. Everybody's still bunched up, but we're one by one, except for Spicoli, who is looking to make a pass on Orbis Jupiter, and he makes a pass going in turn number 1 off the front stretch. Overshoots it, and Spicoli is still in a good position, but he's going to maintain that third position going through 1 and 2 there.
I swear I thought I saw a car cut the... Oh, my goodness.
Almost had somebody flip. The number 5 car of Nicolator is around.
Oh, no. Be curious to see what happened there. It looked like maybe some contact.
Yeah, it looks like some contact with that car right in front. Got him up on 2 wheels and got him turned around.
That was not very good. At least he kept it together. He's going to have some damage on that rear end, though, I think.
Yeah, he'll have to get that fixed after this heat is over. Looking back here through the field. Just want to take a second and commend Beaver. He's moved up 10 positions so far, and Nicolator has dropped 10 positions so far. So,
with the biggest mover and a toughest break all in one.
yeah, Mystery Lane is getting into the back of it. Looks to be McMurk. I'm sorry, Book. Book is driving that 560 car. You know, these guys are racing hard. There's a lot of action on track. We're going to try to get every bit of it, but I know we're going to miss some. Back up front here. Christian Bishop does have second secured here. Coming down in turn one, Captain CK. Bishop all take that corner with ease. Poseidon, Bob Wallace, Spicoli all following in tow right behind them. Looks like Dog and Dean have entered pit road. Garlic Dog and Dean have entered pit road. So this race next week with the LMP2s is going to be interesting at this track, for sure.
Yeah, it's gonna be a heck of a race to watch, being GT3 and LMP2 multi-class racing.
Yeah, it looks like Nick Johnson and Biker Pilot are battling for position here for the 13th position. Beaver is up to 12th now, 11 positions moved up. Bar South has went off the track and back on the track, has had an incident. We'll take a look at it.
Oop, took out a cone.
It took out a cone, trying to maintain it, trying not to wreck the car. Gets back on track and does maintain some sort of a pace, but he's going to let people that are faster go by him, and he will get a reset there in the corner and get right back on by Biker Pilot. He may actually catch a time penalty there, though, for catching the for cutting the course like he did.
Yeah, I would imagine he was well off the track, so would imagine not getting a penalty there.
And it looks like Brando is catching Christian Bishop there. Christian Bishop is in that front car, in that 26 car. And there is a battle for third and second right now.
Yeah, there's going to be lots of battles in this one, with these guys still being relatively close together. And with it being such a short race, you want to try to get as much position as you can. And so these guys are really battling.
Well, I think I want to be in Simply Steve's position. Simply Steve is sitting in that 8th position, and you remember what I said about 8, right?
I don't know.
So
enlighten me.
When the 40-minute race comes along, 8th will become 1st. So he would catch a pole position and be in a good position to fend off whoever is behind him. So if I was Simply Steve, if I knew I couldn't make it up there to Captain CK, I'd just fight for this 8th position here.
Yep, just hold it right where you're at. That's decent strategy, I think. Of course, you want to win. You know, you always want to win something. And even winning, you know, a 20-minute race like this, and then having to swap back to the back, you know, I don't know, maybe that's worth it to somebody. But I guess in some aspects, you want to win the big race instead of the small one. So, I don't know. Kind of depends on these guys' thought process.
Yeah, and Biker Pilot Nick Johnson are battling for position. It looks like we got some contact there between Nick Johnson and Biker Pilot. And it looks like Nick Johnson, sorry, I take that back. It was Lamp and Biker Pilot. Looks like Lamp's got some heavy front end damage on that hill on his Porsche. That will affect his car for sure, as you see Mr. Lane taking that position from him as we approach turn number 1. You see him battling that car through that corner. He does have a lot of damage, which is forcing his car up, making his car loose on the front end, and more than likely on the rear end as well. Let's take a look here at the backpack. Dean and Garlic Dog are both off of the pace. A lap down right now fighting to get the lap back, but it's going to be tough.
It's gonna, it's gonna be really tough for those guys, being they went in the pit pretty early, and so it's gonna hurt them in the long run.
Yeah, we're checking out the gap right now between the drivers, and you can see the distance between each driver. And we know we were talking about 8 a while ago. Oh, we got a huge crash. Christian Bishop is around.
Uh-oh.
We were just fixing to talk about Christian Bishop.
It is not good. He was up in that second position. Something happened. He's dropping spots quick.
Yep. Now, if I was him, I'd fight for that 8th position. Let's go back and take a look at it. Looks like he actually got grabbed from behind by the 123 car. The 123 car is Brando. Let's take a look at Brando.
Yeah, just a little tap and sent the car around. Not a whole lot of grip there as well.
Not a lot of grip, and he didn't corner the number 26 car. Well, they're all battling for that position, but it looks like Christian Bishop just got the short end of the stick there.
Yeah, it was only a small tap, just right on the rear bumper, but that's, I mean, sometimes it's all it takes.
Especially going through
when
he's going through a corner.
Yeah.
And Beaver is still sitting in that 8th position. Simply Steve has moved up to 7th. So now Christian Bishop is going to have, work through the field. He's got some cars he's got to make his way around, but I believe he will be able to do the same. And we'll take a look back up at the front here, but it looks like Spicoli and Bob Wallace will be in 2 and 3, with Captain CK leading by about a second and a half. If you haven't already, make sure you go like, and if you feel like it, subscribe to our YouTube channel to catch all of our VODs from our BSC Cup racing on Tuesday nights, and our GT3 and endurance, or I'm going to rephrase that, our endurance and sprint races on Wednesday night. And if you haven't, make sure you follow here on Twitch to catch the action live each Tuesday, Wednesday, Tuesdays at 6:45 Central, 7:45 Eastern. Rob will be happy that I got that right. And Wednesday nights we get started around 8:30 Central, 9:30 Eastern. So a little late for some people, but if you like to watch a little race while you're going to bed, there you go.
Yeah, I know there's some people out there that want to do that. And speaking of the YouTube channel, if you're interested in watching the BSC Cup race from yesterday, it just went up on the YouTube channel about 13 minutes ago. So once you're done watching tonight's stream, you can, if you're still up, you can go watch that one.
Yeah, for sure. You'll see Justin Johnson win his first BSC Cup race of the year, and Kevin Coleman getting his first interview of the year with the BSC. So congrats to both of them for finishing 1 and 2. For sure, you definitely got to go at least catch the last 10 laps.
Yeah, absolutely. That race was pretty crazy.
Back to the action here. Captain CK still leading. Spicoli is trying to knock that gap down, but there's a 4-second gap overall between him and the leader. Bob Wallace is fighting for position, but it looks like Erco and Brando is having a battle out right here.
Yeah, Erco's a really good driver. We saw him in the endurance race last week. He wanted to win, but he just couldn't, and so he's trying to get redemption in the sprint series.
Yeah, trying to get redemption in the sprint series, but he stated before he doesn't really like the Porsches all that much. So
yeah, I can kind of understand that. They're a sort of a different breed compared to the other cars that he races, so it's understandable.
Yeah, he definitely has a knack for his what's the word I'm looking for? He definitely has a knack for the LMP2s.
Yeah, the LMP2s are really fun cars.
Everybody seemed to be spread out here We do have some congestion as you see them go through turns. Looks like 5 and 6. We'll check on 79 here on car 79. Spicoli as they go through these tight fields here. There are a few tight areas on this track, and everybody seems to be doing good to keep it, you know, straight. But I tell you, I couldn't do it.
Yeah, neither could I. I'm not a road course guy. I'm a turn left only kind of person. So
yeah, I'm the same. I just enjoy general racing, but I definitely am the same. We had somebody potentially get off the track, but he does get it back straight. Looks like that's Book in that 560 car.
That is, I love that. I love the design inside of Biker Pilot's car. That's a meme right there. That's funny.
You're a meme guy here. We're gonna watch the battle here inside the car of Biker Pilot.
I wish I knew what that guy's name was, but I can't remember it now.
He's fighting for the 15th position, but I mean, it is a position that he needs to be in to get some good points. So, biggest mover so far of the day is Beaver. He's up to 7th right now.
16 spots moved, if I'm looking at that right.
Yeah, 16 spots moved, and he's got a little damage on his front end there.
Oh. That's interesting. I can tell you, Simply Steve is holding that 8th position. I think he moved up to 7th briefly and then got that 8th position back. What happened to...
It's like Erico just went off track.
Uh-oh.
Take a look at it here. Tires are a little hot here.
Yep. Sent it a little too hard.
Yeah, and I'm getting word that Spicoli, Data, and Biker Pilot all went off track. We're going to just take a look here and make sure it all wasn't together.
Ooh.
It didn't actually
fishtaily, but he kept it.
He kept it, holds that position in that 2nd position. Let's take a look at call data here.
Oh, there goes the cones.
There goes the cones, and he does not keep it off the inside wall there. We'll grab that wall and jump to the pit. No, he doesn't jump to the pits yet. We're just going to maintain because he does actually have another accident.
Oh, wow.
He just can't. I think he's got a lot of he does have a lot of damage on that left side, so he says I'm just going to jump to the pits and get it repaired.
Yeah, I figured he was going to have to because the amount of damage when he hit the wall on the inside of that corner it'd probably be too much. He might have broke something. So
Cardetta is still showing in the pits. I don't know if he'll be able to make it out. He's been in pits for about 4 minutes now. I'm sure he has hefty repairs to be made on that car.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've been talking about Beaver this for the last little bit. He has moved up another, looks like 2 spots. So he is now 18 positions moved in this race. My goodness.
Yeah, and I don't think he actually qualified either. So
really?
Yeah, I don't think he qualified. I think he started at the back on purpose.
Wow. He's got some sort of strategy. I'd be interested to talk to him about it.
Yeah, now we will not be interviewing the drivers of the winner of the sprint race. We will wait and hold all interviews till the end, and we'll be interviewing the top 3 drivers of the final race, the final 40-minute race. Getting word from our back-end producer that there may not be a warm-up, so if there isn't a warm-up, we'll take a short break and bring you back to the action live. If there is a 10-minute break, then we will take that 10-minute break to get ready for the 40-minute race. And we have somebody else off track. Looks like Garlic Dog and Bro Sided went off track.
Oh, wow. Locked up the brakes and just tagged
Beaver.
Tagged Beaver. Wow.
I'll watch that one more time. We're going to actually go on the interior view of the car here.
I think he may have just gotten a bit too much speed, try to go on the inside.
You could see Broside, they're trying to turn the car, but it just wasn't turning at all. So that was
just
just
had too much. He had too much giver.
Yeah, too much momentum to slow that thing down. Let's go back to the front and watch the front. Looks like Captain CK has still got that gap of about 2, almost 3 seconds ahead of Spicoli. Spicoli actually takes it off track.
Yeah, Captain CK, very strong driver in this one. He's led the entire thing, I believe. So.
Yeah, Rob will be happy a Canadian boy is getting a win here. Potentially getting a win as long as he can make it through the next few turns. Got a minute left of the race. Looks like All Data is still sitting in pit road, 7 minutes now. Have a car coming down pit road here. We'll see who that is here in just a second. Looks like it's going to be Dean. Dean was in an incident earlier.
So I believe Dean went into the pits earlier in the race, so he's been to pit lane twice.
Yeah, this definitely isn't his strongest track. Had a few incidences here. Spicoli still trying to track down Captain CK. Captain CK is rounding out the final few. We're getting to about the middle of the racetrack here. This is going to be the last lap for all the drivers on track. And Spicoli's got to get a move on. He's going to make a move on to Captain CK.
Yeah, he's definitely going to get a move on, but seeing it here, I don't think I'm not sure if he's going to have not enough go pedal to get there.
Yeah, and check out this this fight between Beaver and Erico and Nick Johnson here.
A three-way battle. Love to see it.
Three-way battle for the position of 6 right now, but Johnson sits in a good position. You don't see him pushing too hard to maintain track position, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, like you mentioned, the 8th position is a good place to be. Simply Steve held it for a while. He's up in 5th now, and so.
Yeah, he maintains. Beaver and Johnson both maintain a good position, but we will be starting from the grid for the 40-minute race. We're rounding out the final few turns here for these drivers. We're just going to maintain and watch. See where these guys sit. And just confirming here, Captain CK, Spicoli, Bob Wallace, Brando, and Simply Steve are your top 5. Erico, Beaver, Nick Johnson, 6, 7, 8. 9th is going to be Christian Bishop. 10th, Poseidon. Bar South in 11th as they come down to the stripe. AJ, Avroom, Biker Pilot, Mystery Lane is 13 through 15. 16 is Book. 17th, Nicolator. 18th, McMurk. 19th, Lamp. 20 belongs to, we actually have a lead position change here.
Yeah, between 976 and Lamp. So Lamp went down to 20th and 976 went to 19th.
So that's
where they're going to finish.
Yep. Junior McKinn is in 21st. Prince Adams is 22nd. Garlic Dog is in 23rd. And Dean will round out the rear in 24th. Caldeta did not finish this race.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for him, but I believe he's involved in an incident earlier, so. If I remember correctly. Was that him? I don't remember. Somebody will probably tell me.
Yeah. I'm going to check out Garlic Dog here. He's the final one to go across the finish line here.
And across the line.
Yep, and we will have a warm up race of 10 minutes. So, with that being said, we will see you guys right after this short break. Well, Jacob, you ready for 40 minutes of action coming up here shortly?
I'm ready for it. First 20 minutes was pretty exciting, and I think the 40 minutes will be just as exciting.
I think the same thing exactly. Now, remember, Captain CK will be starting in that 8th position on the grid because he was the winner of this last race. So the guy that finished in that 8th position, I believe it was simply Steve, will be sitting in a good spot.
I believe Steve was in fifth.
No, he was in
when the race
5th. It was
finished.
Nick Johnson.
Was it? It was Johnson. Yep.
Yep,
I
Nick
remember
Johnson.
that. So he will be, I guess, the quote unquote pole sitter. It isn't really a pole, but it's the only term I know for starting position.
Yeah, he'll be starting in front of the grid here. He is indeed what they would call the pole position. So
different race, but it still applies the same, I guess.
different pole, I
Sort of
guess.
I mean, I don't know.
I said it. You didn't. I had to say it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you said it. I didn't. So
These guys are getting ready here. Nick Johnson still has not gridded here. We will go over the grid for this race here, as you can see it on the screen. We'll just show it as is.
yeah, I think some guys to keep an eye on is probably going to be as they get going and start from the grid. I think some guys to keep an eye on is going to be Nick Johnson and Beaver, since Beaver moved up that many positions in the 20-minute race, and he's starting in second. I'm going to see how this goes.
Yeah, well, I want to just I have a race update for you. Nick Johnson and Beaver both are starting from the pits. So if somebody could get me a why that's happening, I would love to know why they were starting from the pits, because I know they were up front.
That was a quick change.
You can see just how much these cars are spaced out here. Now, we will have one pit stop for fuel. Oh, I just heard somebody wreck behind. Thought I did.
Yeah, I thought I heard that too in the stream replay, but I guess nothing's showing up.
These guys are getting filed out here slowly but surely, but we do have some position changes for that front position. As you see Caldetta go off track there.
That was interesting.
Brando, Simply Steve battling it out right now, less than a second apart from one another.
And I guess aside from Johnson and Beaver, I think Steve is going to be another one to keep an eye on. Having, I believe, started 8th in the first race and then moved up to 5th, so he's going to be one to really keep an eye on.
Yeah, we're going to keep an eye on, let me see, let me find him here. We're going to keep an eye on Nick Johnson and Beaver. They're 19 and 20 right now. As you see Bob Wallace sitting on that outside there. That's a dangerous position to be in when you're trying to make these apexes on these corners. You want to tuck in as wide as you can.
And speaking of Beaver, Cyclone in chat, Beaver just hates starting in front of people in Casey Motorsport. Relatable.
I don't like unless it's NASCAR and we get a rolling start, I'm good with it. But if it's a standing start like we saw, or like they do in the sprint series, I don't know if I'd want to be the first one either. Yeah, first one to get wrecked usually.
Those are definitely scary. So, I mean, yeah, I guess it is relatable.
Yep. And we're going to go back and take a look at the grid on the start of the race. Let's take a look at it. It seems to be rolling just fine. You can see them all fanning out here Some 3 and 4 wide action going through turns number 1. Everybody does a good job giving everybody room that they need. I'll take that back. One of the guys did crash there at the end. That's probably what we heard on the start.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, got some action going on right now. Somebody just went exit stage right. That looked to be the lamp. Let's take a look at it.
He went on the inside of the track. What the heck was that? So he got a little bit loose there, and then he hit something. Got turned a little bit, made some contact, and then just went on the inside.
He just exit stage righted it right into the wall.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree with you. Motorsports, a lot of carnage at the start there.
Yeah, it's a lot of moving metal and whatever else these cars are made out of moving.
And we have a battle right now for that front position. All 3 cars are battling it out right now for whatever position they can get.
Yeah, first position, simply Steve Spicoli and Brando. Spicoli, I think, another one to keep an eye on. He, I believe, had some strong racing in the first race.
Yeah, Captain CK is up to 7th. He started in that 8th position. Everybody giving everybody just enough room, but not enough room to make something happen. They want to make sure that they know each other's there. And as you see, Simply Steve in the 23 car actually let off of the gas, let everybody by, because he knows that if he had stayed in the gas, he would not have been able to make that turn, and probably would have took out Spicoli and Brando. So with that, he does a good job of letting off and giving the space when needed. In the real IMSA series races, you would actually get penalized if you did not give space and going into the corners.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's some of the things you got to keep an eye out for and be mindful of, is that if you can't make it into the corner, you're just going to have to give up some spots. Somebody back there got a little squirrely.
Yeah, it looked like it was McMurk. Yep, McMurk got a little loose there. Out of turn number 4. He does get back on track without any incidents, so we'll continue with play. Take back a look up front here. Battle for 2nd right now. Brando, Simply Steve, Erico right behind. Looks like we got some contact there. Captain CK and AJ. If it wasn't contact, it was very close.
Gaso and Chad is absolutely right. These guys can race close. It is very close racing, and they're clean about it. You know, sometimes there's some contact, but that's just how this is. I mean, you can't really avoid it sometimes.
Well, and it's all down to how the guy behind you corners you well. I know in NASCAR, especially at the intermediate tracks, you know, not Michigan, Las Vegas, the old Atlanta, Texas, you do have to let off the gas to get into those corners. And I'm speaking from my experience personally. If I go into the corner and I'm fixing to back my corner, if I'm not getting on the radio telling them, hey, I'm backing my corner up, you know, either go around or slow down. But if somebody's right on your rear bumper and you start backing your corner up and they happen to hit you, they didn't corner you well. So they won't. You need to. The guy in front of you needs to slow up at the same pace that you are, or faster, so they don't rear end you. And that's what these guys are doing. They're cornering everybody extremely well here, as you see them go down the front stretch.
Yeah, all these guys are very, very good racers. Seen them quite a few number of times, and they race as clean as humanly possible. I think some of the cleanest races I've seen thus far.
And iRacing alone, I'll tell you what, out of all the leagues that we've broadcasted for, this is definitely some of the better races I've seen when it comes to this close contact action like this.
Yep, they keep it together. They don't make too many mistakes. They just they do what they practice. So good on these guys.
For sure. Back here in the back, Rosidon has some damage on his front end. Captain CK, I'm sorry, Mystery Lane is right behind him, and Biker Pilot is right behind him in 11th. So these guys are setting in pretty good position. Beaver's made his way up to the field now. He did start on pit road along with Simply Steve. Sorry, not Simply Steve. It was Nick Johnson. Nick Johnson.
Yeah, so Beaver moving up some decent spots back from his pit start, which I still would like to know what happened there with Johnson and Beaver for a pit start. So we'll have to get some clarification on that probably after broadcast.
Yeah, for sure. And we, if we get the information tonight, we'll make a post on our socials about what happened for you guys to see.
Spicoli and Brando up there are still keeping a pretty consistent gap of about, I believe it's 0.8 seconds. So I can tell Brando really wants to get up there, but I just don't know if he has enough momentum to get there.
Well, and he's sitting in a good spot right now, just getting the draft off of him. You know, they get a lot of draft coming off that front stretch, and just kind of mimicking Brando's Spicoli's moves. That helps him, you know, see where he's going to be cornering at. And when these guys make a pit stop early on, or in the next, you know, couple of laps, you could see these guys start making some moves on everybody once they come out. Erico's looking to make a move on Simply Steve here as they enter the corner. Weather at this track appears to have increased the track temperature. The air temperature is still the same, but these guys on track have raised the track temperature to 82 degrees. So cars on track definitely making the track temperature rise.
It's definitely a good thing that is actually, I guess, implemented into the game, or into the sim rather.
I fixed to say, don't you call this a game?
I've done this too many times. I've played too many quote unquote games. I guess.
Oh, stand by! Erico is around.
Oh no, that's not good. Oh, I think somebody else was around.
Yeah, Bob Wallace went around.
There's cones. Oh dear, we got debris in the track.
Erico and Mystery Lane involved there. Let's go back and look at it.
What the heck? Oh yeah. Contact between Erico and was that Wallace?
Erico and Mystery Lane.
Was it Mystery Lane? Okay.
No, Mystery Lane. Rex avoiding them.
That was, yep.
It was Bob.
Erico and Wallace. Yep. Wow. That was interesting. I mean, there was contact between Erico and Wallace, and then Mystery Lane just, I guess, locked up the brakes and kind of skidded around.
We'll keep an eye on their positions, but Bob Wallace, after that incident, is down to 6th right now. Beaver is up to 8th.
And Erico drops back to 15th, a very tough break for him.
Yeah, Erico had a very tough break. He was sitting in a top position, and unfortunately got loose there. Got contact and got loose there, so.
Mm-hmm. And Beaver has moved up even more spots. He's sitting in 8th, where I believe he was sitting for a little while in the previous race.
Yeah, he's moved up from his spot where he started on pit road, obviously, and it has shown for sure. You know, he does a good job of making his way through the field. And he done a good job in the last race until he got into an incident mid race about the lap or about the 12-minute mark, where he got turned around in the corner. So we'll keep an eye on any off tracks that happen. But
Johnson has also moved up some spots, He's sitting in 13th right now, just ahead of Erico by just under a second, I believe.
Yep, Dean and Lamp have both exited their cars, are out of the race as of right now.
That sucks to see it, but these things happen, I guess.
We will start looking for these guys to come in probably about the 20-minute mark. Gonna pop our best times up, or I'm sorry, that's here's the best times. Best times right now, Spicoli does have the lead as far as best times go with a 1:45.199. Brando is sitting right behind him. I'm sorry, I took that back. Looking through the list here. Yeah, Brando's sitting right behind him with a 1:45.473. I don't see anybody else that's even close to those two. As you see, they're battling for position right now.
Yeah, they really are. Want to make a quick mention of Broseiden as you switched to him there. 14 spots he's moved up.
Yeah, Broseiden, he started... what would that be?
If he's in 6th, it'd be, what, 20th?
I think he started 20th. And that incident with Erico definitely helped him gain positions. I mean, out of the incident with Erico, I mean, there was 4 cars that ultimately lost spots in that incident. So, you know, there's 4 spots for him right there.
Captain CK has gone into the pits, it looks like.
Yep, he's probably doing an early pit strategy.
Might help him in the long run.
We'll see. I mean, he doesn't need to go a lap down. We'll keep an eye on pit road here. He does leave with a pit time of 10 seconds, so he does just get a top off on fuel. There's Junior McKinn right there, sitting in 22nd right now, trying to keep Spicoli off of his tail. The gap is about 17 seconds, so.
You know, I think in regards to Captain CK and the fuel time, of course, he didn't really need a whole lot of food. He got bouncy there.
Yeah, Spicoli went off track right there just a little bit.
But with Captain CK, he didn't really need a whole lot of fuel, and you don't really need to spend a lot of time because these cars can hold the fuel for a decent amount of time. So I think he probably doesn't have to pit for the rest of the race. So he's probably set for now.
Yeah, I do agree. I mean, early pit stop strategy can be good, but if you use a lot of your fuel going through the rest of this race and you don't take a full stint, you could have some issues. So watch for these guys to start going into the pits here soon. Beaver has made his way, has moved down to 6th. He started in 2nd.
Started in 2nd?
Beaver did.
I thought Beaver was the other one in the pit start. He still moved up. So with Beaver and Johnson, don't pay attention to the position moves because of their pit start.
Technically, you're right.
It counts them at the beginning, and then they move down because of the pit start.
That's really confusing me. Yeah, live timing doesn't accommodate for the pit start there. So.
Yeah, but he's in 4th right now, so he's moved up a really good amount of spots. So he's really wanting that position that he had, because I believe he was in 2nd before the pit start.
Yeah, and pit lane is getting busy right now, as you see on the bottom of your screen. Johnson, Erico are in the pit, sitting on pit road right now, and it looks like Simply Steve and somebody else that just passed there are leaving. It looks like Nick Johnson and Erico are leaving right now.
Yep. And Spicoli and Brando,
Mick Merckx went around.
Uh-oh. We'll be back to Spicoli and Brando here in a moment.
Mick Merckx just on warm tires.
Yep,
he does keep it off the wall, though.
Just a little loss of grip and turned it. But back to Spicoli and Brando, I believe the gap has increased a fair bit. It's like a 2-second gap right now.
Yeah, 2-second gap between the two as Brando hits pit road before Spicoli, so that is interesting. Brando may walk out. He may be playing chess right now while Spicoli is playing checkers. We shall see what happens.
That's very possible. That's AJ's moved up into the 2nd position.
We've not really mentioned AJ a whole lot tonight. He's up 9 spots, starting in that 11th position to take 2nd right now.
So he's definitely been moving pretty good.
Looking at pit lap times here. The top 8 right now. Beaver is the only one that has went in, and he started on that. He started on pit road, so it's counting him as taking a pit stop, which he didn't. So we'll get an update back on the pit stats once they're updated. Poseidon is up 16 spots right now. A lot of damage on his front end, but he is still maintaining pace with Beaver. Nick Johnson there in the 369 car has made his way up to 14th from the 25th, 24th position where he started in.
Something like that, I think.
He was also a pit starter.
Yep. I believe Johnson actually dropped back a spot. I believe he was in 13th for a little while, but it seems like he passed him up. So
Spicoli is going to stay out again. He did not go down pit road. So Brando did actually come out of the pits in 8th, so he's still in the top 10 position. And it looks like everybody in front of him has not pitted yet. So Avro Vroom, Christian Bishop, Avavoom, yeah, that.
Something like that.
Biker Pilot, Christian Bishop, Poseidon, Beaver, and AJ have not pitted.
I believe Biker Pilot actually went into the pits.
So that'll give Brando a position up there to that 7th position.
We got Nicolator moving up some spots. I believe he's moved up 8 spots.
Yep, and he's got some heavy right front end damage there on his Porsche.
Yeah, so that's going to hurt him a little bit, but it seems like he's keeping decent pace, so he's making it work.
.976 currently sitting in that 18th position. He started in 18th, so I mean he's not moved up and he's not moved back. So we're going to celebrate that small victory of not losing a position yet.
Yeah, it's the same with Junior McCann as well. In 21st, he has not moved a position yet. So as Prince Adam has gone into the pits.
We're going to check on Spicoli here. Spicoli should be getting ready to pit, as he does not. He goes around again without taking a pit stop.
I mean, it's got to be in his mind at some point to get into the pits. I mean, he's got to be going at some point, probably in the next couple laps, I would imagine.
Back to Nicolator and Avovoom. They both kind of go off track there, but they're running in tandem here. But I know Nicolator is looking to get around Avovoom there.
As Avovoom goes into the pits.
Yep, Avovoom does take his time on pit road now, and Spicoli is still our leader as of right now.
And Poseidon, I think, has gone into the pits as well. So
actually
moved up some spots.
Poseidon's leaving pit road, so.
Oh, he was already in the pits. Okay. I just happened to see his name light up red and move down. So Nicolator's moved up 10 spots. Brando has not moved a spot. That's interesting. Oh dear. Where is Brando?
Brando's sitting right there in the 123 car. We're following right now on the static camera.
Oh, there it is. I was looking at the car image down there in the lower third. Does not match up.
Yeah, I've got to contact Live Timing to figure out how to get that to update. They claimed when we were doing our assistance to doing our support ticket to get everything working there that it would update, but obviously it has not. Let me try something real quick. All the cars are going to go white for just a second.
Yeah,
See if we
just do
can.
a
Quick refresh of the paints.
Yeah, this happens from time to time. It's not a perfect system, but it's
Well, you got to think about it. you've got live timing, which is a separate piece of software. Trading Paints is downloading thousands of files per session you're in to get the paints right. It's multiple systems talking to one another and they all are coded with different software, so it's a little different.
Yeah, you'd think it'd be a little bit more, I guess, interoperable and all that, but it does have some problems in there. Looks like the paint schemes have come back. Looks like they are matching, at least for a couple of guys.
For some of the cars we're looking at here.
Interesting. I just noticed that Spicoli had a NASA themed car.
Yep. Brando is up to that 5th position right now. And Spicoli still has not pitted, so we're looking at him to come down pit road any minute now. As we are past the 20-minute mark. We're at 24 minutes left. I'm sorry, 24 minutes complete, 26 minutes to go. Sorry, no. 16 minutes to go. I'm not good with math.
Math is hard. I struggle with it sometimes too, but that's just how it is. And, keeping an eye on some of the main players here. We got Nicolator there in the 11th position. Captain CK up to 6th. So he's definitely made a comeback.
Captain CK has made a comeback for sure. I'm looking at Erico. I'm following Erico here on the live timing to see how many positions he actually gains. He's not gained a whole heck of a lot.
He sure hasn't.
And he was sitting in a good position earlier in the top 5.
He definitely was, but incidents sometimes take that away from you. And Spicoli and AJ, the gap on them has increased. I believe AJ used to have around an 8 or 9 second gap. Now it's up to 11 and a half seconds.
Yeah, and I think Spicoli is just hammered down, pedal to the metal right now, trying to get as much of a distance between him and Brando as he can. The gap right now is 32 seconds, and the average pit time for most of these guys I'm looking through here is about 16 seconds. Total pit time is about 36 seconds. So if he can get that gap a little bit further on Brando, he may be sitting well as he comes out of the pits. Like I said, total pit time is the time you enter pit road to the time you leave pit road, and our pit lane time is that. And the average is about 36 to 38 seconds total from the time you cross that line to the time you cross the exit line. So I know Spicoli is hammered down trying to get as much distance as he can on Brando because Brando has pitted already. Brando is not looking to pit anymore the rest of this race.
But Spicoli has not pitted yet, I believe.
Yeah, that's correct. Spicoli has not pitted yet. So, and with that, Spicoli, it looks like he is
going into the pits.
Yep. So we'll pay attention
we're just
here.
Talking about him.
Pay attention here between him and Brando. Brando is got a few more corners to make. We'll keep an eye on that. Spicoli is on pit road right now. Let's take a look, see how long he sits. Where's Brando at? I lost him on the live timing. There he is. He is rounding out the final corner on the front stretch here, and Spicoli is leaving pit road. So he does get a good little gap there, but he's not up to speed. Brando right there coming down the line, but I don't think he's going to get there before Spicoli can get his speed back up. Cameraman doing awesome work right there trying to get them 2 drivers in the shot. And Brando has moved up to that 4th position. Spicoli down to 3rd. AJ, Christian Bishop 1, 2, Spicoli 3rd, Brando 4th, and Captain CK rounding out your top 5. And we have a battle on our hands now between Brando and Spicoli. It is all hands on deck, pedal to the floor, trying to get something going here for Spicoli. Brando has got to get something going here.
Yeah, he's really trying to push the car for everything he's got and trying to get back to Spicoli and maybe even regain the position that he had before. But I don't know. It remains to be seen in this last, we have 12 minutes left, I believe.
Yep. Right at about 12 minutes, and you remember what I was telling you about downforce in the car. Brando's doesn't have as much downforce as Spicoli does right now.
Yep, because the difference is in pit time. So Brando's used more fuel, and so thus he has less weight in the front, less downforce, and so he's going to be.
Could make him a little slower on times.
And that too, yeah. So he's going to be struggling to keep the pace.
We're just going to take a look here at the pit stop lap for the top three. It looks like Christian Bishop is entering pit road right now. AJ is on pit lane right now. And now it is up to Brando and Spicoli. Brando and Spicoli are going to be 1 and 2 at the line. And a 5-lap difference. 5-lap difference between Spicoli and Brando's pit times.
5-lap difference can make all the all the difference in this, being the track is as long as it is.
Yeah, you're definitely right there. That's a 5-second gap between Brando and Spicoli. We're going to keep an eye on that. We do have some, but that battle's on track right now. We're going to go back and take a look at. Erko and Nicolator, the two admins for the league, are sitting in a position to battle each other. We'll take a look at them. Going to ride along here with Erko for a second. Check his shift points. See how much of the car he's having to fight. Looks like he's able to hold that inside line pretty well. A lot better than Nicolator, and he is making some gains on Nicolator here. Erko is going to apex that corner. I'm sorry, Nicolator is going to apex that corner a little better than Erko there and gain that position back. About 0.5 seconds now between the two.
Yeah, it's starting to be a bit of a cat and mouse game. Nicolator gets a little balancing on the curve there. It's going to be basically a cat and mouse game. These guys are just kind of reeling each other in and then flattening out, reeling each other. I mean, it's just, trying to fish one another in.
Yeah, definitely fishing one another in, trying to maintain. Nicolator's trying to maintain the position he's got, but Eriko's looking to make them corners a little bit better. He's got to improve on his cornering if he's going to catch Nicolator in the next couple of laps. Spicoli is putting lap cars in between him and Brando now, which could slow Brando up to give Spicoli just enough chance to get up there in that front position. Brando is trying to make his way up there, but he just doesn't have that downforce like we'd like him to see, and you're going to see him start pushing this car a lot more here.
Actually, I just noticed Johnson has moved up into 7th, so he has regained quite a few positions back from his pit start.
Looks like Nicolator does grab the grass right there.
So that's going to hurt him a little bit.
Slightly, and Eriko's going to be pushing to make a pass here. The gap right now is about 0.2 seconds. And holding strong. Good corner by Eriko there. You don't want to hit Nicolator. If the viewers haven't already, make sure you go check out our sponsors, W Energy, W.GG, with the coupon code URNW at checkout. Will get you 10% off on any purchase from the W store. The energy drinks or the energy powder that you can shake in water tastes amazing. There's only one that, me personally, I wouldn't recommend because it has a kind of a chalky flavor that I don't really like chalky, but everything else has been fantastic that I've tried. And they also have a new hydration formula out that I am waiting to try. Last time I checked, it was sold out. But like I said, URNW 10% off your order at checkout. Also, check out JP Alfonso Studios, tattoo artist out of Atlanta. So if you're in the area looking for a tattoo, stop by and see if he can get you on the schedule. JP specifically is booked out to about 2023, so might want to call ahead if you want to get a tattoo of him. Does a lot of work, does a lot of specialties. They've got some good Japanese style artwork, black and whites, anything you want they can do. Go check them out, jpalfonsostudios.com. And the links will be posted momentarily for you guys. So just click right away if you're interested in that type of stuff. the link that was just posted for W, if you click that, that'll automatically apply that discount code for you at your checkout. So,
yeah, that goes to support us and all that good stuff. So we really appreciate it. Back to the action here. Spicoli and Brando, the gap has increased, it looks like.
yeah, Spicoli's got about a 7-second gap over Brando. Brando, I don't think he's settling for that second position, but he's still sitting in a good position for his point series.
Yeah, absolutely. And that the gap increasing like that kind of brings the point that you mentioned earlier with regards to the lesser amount of downforce in terms of Brando's car and slowing him down because of it. It really shows right there.
Yeah, I mean, the more the car raises up from not having fuel, the less downforce you're going to have. And the more the air can be able to get up under that splitter there and make the car loose. And we're watching that. We've seen that with a lot of cars already, but and it can be just a millimeter, but a millimeter of a raise can cause the car to get extremely loose. And that's where adjustments in the car will be made to help prevent that. But you can only make so many adjustments in the car before you have to actually take it to the pits and get more fuel.
And I'm being informed in Twitch chat that we may have missed a dramatic Nicolator accident in turn 1.
Nicolator is off track. Let's take a look at it.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
Clip that. Highlight
yep,
reel.
Putting that as a marker where that's going in the highlight reel. Wow. I was about to say it didn't look that impressive, and then I saw the yellow curb right there, and I was like, "This is not going to end well."
Let's ride
and
along. Don't watch if you're gonna get sick here.
He had no choice. Look at that.
Oh man.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
Thanks, Bay. Man.
My. That was that's good. We're gonna have to credit you in the highlight reel for that one. That was never seen that.
Well, Erico takes a position from Nicolator for sure. No question about it.
Absolutely no question about it. So I'd be interested to know what Erico's thinking about that one.
Yeah, AJ and Captain CK are back on pit road there. I think this is the second time for both.
Yeah, that's gonna hurt for Captain CK. He really wanted to get back up in the front, but pitting again, it's not gonna be a good thing for him.
Well, simply Steve's off track, trying to maintain straight, the keeping the car straight. He does that.
He cut the track pretty hard. I'm not sure if he's going to get a penalty for that one or not.
I'm not sure. We'll keep an eye on it. Brando and Spicoli are still battling for whatever they can get, but the gap is 9 seconds now. Sorry, it's still 7 seconds now over Brando for Spicoli.
And of course, we make mention of the pit starts that we had with Beaver and Johnson. Beaver is up in 3rd and Johnson is up in 5th, so they have recovered most of their positions, which is good for them. But of course, they need to get to 1st and 2nd to be able to really regain them. They have recovered most of the lost positions.
Nicolator is back on track. Maybe he will not find his way back on his roof.
Like I said, I've never seen that before. That was entertaining.
Well, look, I think he knew it was going to happen.
Well, I mean, yeah, those curbs are very, they're basically speed bumps. I mean, that's effectively what they are.
Have you ever hit a speed bump going about 40 miles an hour?
Luckily, I have not. I don't want to do that because that sounds like absolute heck.
Yeah, well, it's fun until you blow your shocks out. And
that sounds like a really bad time. both physically and financially.
Yeah, for sure.
I think more so physically. That'd probably be more important.
Yeah, the gap between Beaver and Brando right now, 12 seconds. 12-second interval between the two. Beaver is sitting in that third place position. Justin Johnson, as Jacob mentioned earlier, is sitting in that fifth position, and is still. What'd I say?
You said Justin Johnson.
Oh, sorry.
Wrong race.
Wrong race. Nick Johnson is still gaining some positions. Rosiding is the next one on his list, and Nick Johnson is right behind him.
What in the world? I just noticed that there's two cars with the same paint scheme.
Yeah, but I'm going back to that because it looks like there was some blocks being thrown.
Yeah, maybe.
Garlic Dog right there in the rear, putting some blocks on Nick Johnson, giving the gap for Brosidon there in that 99 car. We're under a minute to go here in the race. Spicoli will be on his last lap at the line.
Yep, not much more in this one, so thinking Spicoli's got this one in the bag.
Yeah, never say never.
I mean, with this little time left, I don't know.
Cue Justin Bieber because I never say never.
Well, let's just not sing it. That'd be good. Because
what if you sing it really monotone? Never say never.
And copyright.
That's right.
We're going down. We just crossed the 40-minute mark, so I believe once the drivers cross, this will be it.
Yeah, we'll look and see. This may have been the last lap for Spicoli, but we'll take a look here as we approach the final 4 turns. Spicoli's done an excellent job dominating the top part of this race, of the 40-minute race. I mean, he's led most of it. There was a few laps he did not lead because he went down pit road, but past that, he's led most of this race. So congratulations to him just for leading the most laps tonight. Though he's going to be excited to see his name on that leaderboard. At the line here, we do have the checkered flag in the air, and Spicoli will bring home the win here at Circuit de Barcelona. Brando rounding out the final turn to take home second. Beaver is also rounding out his final turn to take home third. Jumped back from the 24th or 25th position, started on pit road, and made his way to the third position to finish. Rosidon is battling with Nick Johnson right now. Can Nick Johnson set the pass up? It doesn't look like he's going to, but we shall see in this final corner.
If he's going to do it, he's got to do it basically right now. This is going to be an interesting battle. He's going to try it. He can't get to the inside.
Yep, does get to the inside.
Oh.
Does not make that pass there. AJ Christian Bishop.
Fourth position. Man.
See everybody getting there, crossing the finish line. Wallace and Biker Pilot are still have not crossed the line. Bar South has not crossed the line. Book has not crossed the line, and Junior McKinn has not crossed the line yet. Bar South just finished up. Biker Pilots coming up. They're bringing up the rear here. Is that the nice guy? Where it says nice.
No, I don't think. I can't remember which meme that is. I'll have to look that up afterwards. But there we go. I mean, this race is pretty much done with Book, the last one to cross.
Yep, and he's rounding out the final corner right now. He will bring home 14th. We'll put the final results on the screen momentarily, but let's get the drivers queued up to chat. This has been a very interesting race for sure, with Spicoli winning the race, Brando finishing in second, Beaver finishing in that third position.
Especially after starting on the pits with Johnson, he definitely earned himself a podium position right there.
Yeah, podium position for sure. Spicoli, Brando, Beaver, your top three. Brosidon finishing fourth. Nick Johnson finishing that fifth position. Beaver and Nick both made the biggest gains tonight, both starting from pit road. AJ finishing sixth. Christian Bishop or Orbitus Jupiter finishing in seventh. Simply Steve eighth. Erico in ninth. Avovoom in 10th. Bar South in 11th. Bob Wallace in 12th. Biker Pilot in 13th. Book in 14th. Captain CK in 15th. Prince Adams in 16th. 976 finishing 17th. 18th belongs to Garlic Dog. Nicolator in 19th after his miraculous flip. I give it you know what, Jacob? I give it a 7.5. After seeing it, I give it a 7.5.
I'm gonna give it a 9.
Okay, well, I mean, you're just being generous. That's fine.
I've never seen something quite like it. So I mean, got to give it high marks.
Yeah, if you stick around after the post-race show, we'll show it in slow motion. Junior McKinn finishing in that 20th position. Mick Merck finishing 21st. 22nd belongs to Mystery Lane. 23rd belongs to Caldeta. 24th belongs to Dean. And 25th belongs to Lamp. Are the drivers ready to talk?
We have Captain CK lined up in the waiting frequency, but he's not one of the ones that we're talking to.
Spicoli, Brando, Beaver, any of them available?
We have Beaver down there. Let's see. Which one? So it's Spicoli.
Yeah, let's do Spicoli if
Brando,
he's available.
And, let's see. Where is Spicoli? Where are you? Is he not available? I don't think so. Not seeing him anymore.
All right. Is Brando available?
Brando is maybe. He is. All right, let's pull him in. Brando, it's Jacob in the booth. How you got me?
Yeah, I got you good.
A hell of a race, man. You were battling really hard with Spicoli. You wanted to get the first position, but you just couldn't. I guess you didn't have enough momentum to get there. But you finished, I believe, second. So
yeah,
that's a pretty good spot even then. So how does it feel to get P2?
it feels good. It's been a little bit of a dry spell of podiums for myself. Yeah, I wanted to get first today, but a lot of little mistakes here and there gave Spicoli a lot of room, and he had a great drive as well. So
now, 40-minute race. We know you were gonna have everybody's gonna have to pit at least once. Do you think you pitted a little early?
Yeah, I was hoping to try a little bit of an undercut on Spicoli. That kind of kicked me in the rear at the end of the day because I didn't practice pitting for one, so it was pretty slow. And two, I came out right into some traffic, and it definitely slowed me down.
Yeah, the finishing interval or the gap between you two is 8.06 seconds, and increasing. Spicoli definitely had the better car there towards the end, especially with the extra downforce from his fuel. We were looking at the pit stints, and you pitted 5 laps earlier than Spicoli did, so we had a feeling that was going to be an issue. Now during that time he was able to get 35 seconds over you. Do you think that was also he seen you going early, so he was going to stay out as long as he could to try to maintain a gap on you?
Yeah, I would assume so. I know he's a really smart race car driver. I do think at the end of the day I did pit pretty early. I was hoping maybe they'll change it up in the end, but no luck.
We understand. Well, congratulations on your finish tonight. Second place finish for you. Anything you got to say to your fans out there tonight?
I love them all. I love G-Bay especially, and Nick and Later.
There you go. Well, Brando, congratulations, and will you be here next week for the endurance race?
Of course. I'll be in my lovely BMW that's pink.
Ooh.
Nice.
It might have some anime girls on it, you know?
Oh, my.
Keep it PG.
It's, PG-13.
Okay, we'll let that one
about
slide.
as PG as it can probably get. So
yeah, that's legally allowed in the league.
Well, we'll keep an eye on that to see you there. So thanks for joining in with us.
Yep. Thanks for having me and thanks for streaming. I love it, guys.
Absolutely.
Let's go ahead and pull Beaver in for his third place finish, and we'll wrap it up.
Yep. Beaver, it's Jacob in the booth. How you got me?
How you doing?
Doing pretty good. A hell of a race. Even though, I mean, I gotta ask, what happened at the beginning? It seemed like you were starting up, I think P2, and then you started from the pits. Can you give us sort of an idea of what happened there?
Yeah, that was intentional. I like going into these races and having some people to pass. I think running for 40 minutes, if you're starting second, running up front, I think that'd be fairly uneventful. So I like to challenge myself a little bit. Sometimes it's fun. Tonight it worked out pretty well for the most part.
Yeah, it definitely worked out for you. You gained I believe it had you slated in 25th at the beginning with that pit start. That means you gained 22 positions overall to finish on the bottom of the podium tonight. So congratulations to that. As far as your strategy tonight, I mean, what was your strategy? Just get by as many cars as you could, or just talk to us about the strategy you had coming into Barcelona tonight?
Yeah, I was just hoping to pick them off one by one. Passing, there are a lot of passing zones here. It's actually kind of impressive. The track itself is very boring, in my opinion. It's boring, but there are a lot of passing zones. You can run side by side too in some places, so that's pretty nice. And as far as the race went, I didn't really have any pit strategy. I had someone doing manual fuel calculations next to me while the race was going on, so really no planning ahead. I just wanted to make sure I had enough fuel to get to the end, and then try to keep the tires underneath me as well. It's very heavy on the left front, so trying to keep that healthy is what was pretty important. And I think I killed it at the end, but it was just enough to hang on.
Yeah, and I didn't mention this to Brando, but did you happen to pass Nicolator on his roof there towards the end?
No, I did not. He was, I, he is not a person that gets mad, and he was very mad, and I feel bad. But yeah, he was, I don't know, so angry that he kind of laughed at it, that kind of angry state. But I do feel bad. I don't know. I think he ramped off a curb, and I don't know which one it was. But if it was the same one that I hit in race one, then I understand that it is pretty killer.
Yeah, so we will be showing it there towards the end of the post race tonight. So make sure you tune in right after this interview and check it out live. We'll be doing a slow motion, just analyzing it and trying to give it a score.
Yeah, I believe he had gone over the sausage curbs and wanted to turn back into the track, but I guess he turned left to try to avoid maybe wrecking into somebody, and then just basically hit the speed bump.
Oh.
And he oh man, it's
Yeah.
going in the highlight reel, that's for sure.
Amazing.
Yep. But Beaver, congratulations on P3 tonight. Anything you got to say to your fans out there tonight?
Yeah. I want to publicly apologize to Captain CK. I was chasing him down, and I must have missed my braking point going into turn one. I turned him. Out of everyone in this league, he is the last person I want to make contact with. I think he's such a great driver, and I have the most respect for him. So I feel bad for turning him. That was the last thing I wanted to happen. So that's the only shout out I have tonight.
No. Captain CK, I know he's gonna. He understands that this is racing. I know that. So he's probably been turned before, and it won't be the last time he's gotten turned. And a lot of the guys won't come back and apologize for it. They're just like, you know what? Oh well, screw it. So it shows what type of a racer and the sportsmanship you have to publicly apologize for that. And we actually caught that live. So
darn. Well, yeah, I'll go now. I'll go privately apologize to him.
Yeah, there you go.
That's just racing, right?
Yeah, it's just racing. That's what I chop it up as. Now, if a left turn's coming up and you're beside me and you turn right, we're gonna fight after the race.
Understandable.
Yep. But Beaver, congratulations on P3, and we'll see you. Will you be here next week?
Maybe not next week, but the following.
I'd like to hear it. Well, if you are here next week, good luck, and if not, we'll catch you in 2 weeks.
All right, guys. Thanks so much.
Yep. Thank you, Beaver.
Absolutely.
All right.
Well-
I've got this thing queued up here. I just gotta hang on. I gotta find it.
Yeah, I'll say let's
Let's
watch this.
I wanna watch it from. There it is, right here. Slow motion too. Is this it?
Everything's better in slow motion.
Yeah, it is. So Nicolator is up front.
So he just didn't really have enough turn in there. Just went over the curb and then hit the speed bump.
And just takes it straight over. Actually grabbed that car right there in front of him. I'm not sure who that was. I'll get a better look here in just a second, but let's get another look at that. Here's his camera of it. And you see him almost a full turn on the wheel. And he's just
trying
like
to turn it, but he just can't go anywhere.
He just quit turning. He's like, I'm over. I can't do anything about it.
Yeah, he's like, I can't do anything about it. I'm just gonna have to eat it.
One more time from the top.
Goodness.
All right. What's your score?
I mean, still gotta stick with a 9, man.
It's a 7.2.5 for me. All right, it's a 7.25. 7.25. There you go.
And I'm getting word that Spicoli is actually in our waiting frequency.
Oh, nice. Let's go talk to him.
All right. Spicoli is Jacob in the booth. Hey, you got me.
Yeah, I got you guys.
Man, hell of a race and a P1 finish. You were really strong all this race, led a good number of laps. Had some position drops, but you still made it back and battled with Brando all night, and he happened to finish in P2. So, how does it feel to get the win tonight?
It feels pretty good considering I don't have a lot of experience at this track. I made that one mistake there in the sprint race that probably cost me the win. But other than that, yeah, I'm pretty happy with how everything went, especially with pit strategy. I didn't royally mess it up this time, so that's good.
Yeah, actually, so I was going to ask you about that when when Brando went into pit lane early. I mean, we figured he was going to try to undercut you, and you stayed out an additional 5 laps. So for either one, you were stuck in fumes when you went into pit road, or 2, you knew that you had to get at least 30 seconds ahead of him to maintain your position. I mean, what was going through your mind there on that strategy?
I was really happy with my pace. I was keeping track of it and my relative to make sure that if I ran it dry, I would have enough of a buffer, and then of course taking less fuel would help with that too. So I wasn't really paying attention to when they were pitting. I was just looking at the gaps and making sure that I didn't make any mistakes on my in and out lap, and it ended up working out.
Well, you definitely showed your dominance here. I about dropped my phone. You showed your dominance tonight for sure, and I hear it every week that I'm just not good at this track, but you guys are winning by 8, 10, 15, 20 seconds. You guys are some of the most humble guys that we broadcasted for, and it really shows each week. Congratulations on P1. Anything you got to say to your fans out there tonight?
Yeah, thanks. I've got a couple people to thank tonight. First off, Parker Steele, Joshua Germany, Sam Benols, Henry Morse, Aiden Saunders. Got to thank all those guys, of course. You guys for the broadcast and everyone that runs this league. It's awesome.
Well, we do appreciate the shout out. More people that watches the merrier for us. So bring everybody along that you can each week. You're gonna be racing. You're gonna be here next week.
Yeah, planning on it. Should anything crazy happen.
There you go. What you bringing on next week?
Where do we go next week?
Here.
Oh no. Oh no. Wait. Oh no. Oh my bad. My brain is scrambled. It's late. Yeah, I don't run endurance. I just run the sprint. My attention span isn't long enough for an endurance race. I'll be here for the next sprint though.
There you go. Well, we'll see you here in 2 weeks. How about that? Not here, but somewhere.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right. Thank you, Spicoli.
All right, yeah, thanks.
Well, there you go.
All right. Well, Jacob, I'm gonna wrap it up for us.
Let's get her done.
Well, guys, we appreciate you coming out tonight. Make sure you check out the action next week. We will be picking up the BSC Cup on Tuesday night at 6:30. Give me just a second. We'll figure out where we're going to be there. I believe we're going to be at Michigan next week for the BSC Cup on Tuesday night, starting at 6:45 Eastern, 7:45 Eastern, 6:45 Central, and then we will be here next week for the endurance race back at Circuit de Barcelona for endurance with J2i, starting at 8:30 Central, 9:30 Eastern. So
almost.
Yeah,
You're getting
it's late, and I'm going to bed because I got to get up at 5 in the morning.
Well,
we love you
plus
guys.
you've got so many different things going on, but
That's right. We love you guys. Make sure you check out the sponsors, and if you happen to get anything, just mention that we brought you there. And W, make sure you use that code URNW at checkout. We love you guys. Jacob, close us up.
Yep. As Andrew said, thanks for watching. Thanks for all the support and everything. We love doing this, and hopefully it's something we can continue doing for a long time, especially with BSC and J2i. So thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you back here next week. So tune in then, and we'll see you then.
Bye, guys. This broadcast is the property of the United Racing Network and Twitch.tv. All reproductions of this broadcast must be approved by the United Racing Network staff. United Racing Network does not claim any responsibility for mishaps that may occur while listening to this production. United Racing Network reserves the right to delete, mute, unpublish, and/or move streaming locations without notice. The opinions of the announcers are not influenced by sponsorship, league administration, or any other outside entities. Thank you.